So the unicorn, let's talk about a unicorn. This is one of the few times, Terry, you and I ever talk about names of companies. We just don't typically do it. We all, because we're so much into systems, and systems are about finding the strategy, the characteristics, getting beyond the glitz and getting to the underpinnings of the business, if we're using the car analogy. But this is one of the time of the year that we're going to talk a little bit about the name first and some of the characteristics. I want to tell people when we talk unicorns, if we talk emerging, which sometimes we do, that does not mean it's for you. There's
Right.
positives and negatives on any type of business. And there's certainly positive and negatives about being in an early adopter. Some of my people who own several businesses, that's all they want to look at, and that's fine. Some people, it's not the right time. It's inherently different risk profile because it's new. So
Is
those
there
are
an
some things.
advantage to an emerging franchise?
I'm sorry.
Is there an advantage to an emerging franchise?
Absolutely. It's like the gold rush or when you're trying to get land. First to market means you're the first to get the land. You're the first one out there. If I live in Denver and I get Denver, for the whole territory, you're not getting Denver if you're in the Denver territory. So
Okay.
there are some advantages, but it has to be evaluated, which is what the due diligence process is all about. But no one wants to hear about that right now. They want to hear about the cool thing. So let's talk about the unicorn.
It's really cool.
Terry, do you know who Gary Brecka is?
I do know Gary Brecka. He is maybe the father of longevity. I don't want to give him a title that he hasn't given himself, but in coming back from the conference, I've talked to a lot of people, and I haven't talked to anyone yet who doesn't know the name Gary Brecka.
All right. Gary Brecka is involved in this unicorn business coming up. Who else is involved in this unicorn business?
Do you want me to throw the name out, or do you want
You can throw it out.
Tony Robbins?
Tony Robbins with his leading longevity medicine platform. The name
In the personal development Hall of Fame next to Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy is Tony Robbins, fully behind this new franchise opportunity with Gary Brecka.
Gary Brecka and Anthony from Sequel Brands, Anthony Geisler, who has had a very successful career building franchise concepts.
You cannot be in the franchise industry and not know Anthony Geisler.
So it's a pretty unique founding group, and they're all interested health, wellness. Gary with his Ultimate Human, Tony Robbins with his Life Force, Anthony with his platforms for fitness and wellness concepts. They've come together with a business that's called Ultimate Longevity Center, and it's a unicorn. It's groundbreaking. It's the next generation, really, of health and longevity platform just coming to market. So it is emerging, right? It is emerging, but it's an evolution in proactive health and human performance, not just lifespan, but well span. We hear some of these key words. The idea is to have science and personalized health intelligence, if you will, premium experiential type services, the kind of stuff that only really wealthy people have been able to enjoy up until now. They're trying to bring it to the masses, right? So science first, proactive, clinical and experiential kind of integration, really interesting. So they have the leadership. They have an incredible growing segment of the business world, the health and wellness, and it really will take you and do so many things that people have been interested in. There's franchise businesses that do part of these things. They do the hyperbaric chambers. They'll do the light therapy, but all the way to the different massages, to the shots, to the really individualized kind of health and wellness so that you can live longer, better.
Things that have only been available to billionaires
Right.
over the last 20 years are now going to be available for the masses. And I guess if you're a billionaire, right, and you own businesses and you have boats, boats is not the right term. I think yacht. That you can land a helicopter on, right? You have that image in mind. Robin Leach's Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous years ago, right? I think billionaires have had access to all of these modalities. And Gary and Tony and Anthony have now put these modalities under one roof. so that we can all live longer. Because, once you've got your life where you want it to be, and the people around you that you love, you just want to do that longer. And so when you look at Boston Consulting Group, McKinsey, all the big names, they say this is going to be $1 trillion category, Ray, $1 trillion category.
with a capital T. So with all these modalities, the red light therapy, the oxygen, the cold exposure, the shots, each one could be an individual franchise. And in many cases it is an individual franchise or individual business in and of itself. But on top of that, the market opportunity. This is a repeatable and scalable business model. Strong consumer engagement, predicted high retention, because once you start, you don't tend to stop. Long-term relevance because of the longevity and performance, multiple revenue streams, even selling product that people want. There's a lot in there. Excuse me.
Manager run, multi-unit development. These are all, you're not going to be working behind the counter showing somebody to their light bed for
Right.
their particular session. You're going to be working with your managers and building multi-unit, rather large businesses.
Yep, all in 2,000 or less square feet and probably near stores that you realize. If you know where Starbucks is, you probably aren't going to be too far away.
Yeah, and the strength of that health and wellness category as we left New Orleans and started to look at that was really dynamic. That's been a growing category, I'd say strongly for the last 3 years, probably more for the started about 5 years ago to really get traction in the marketplace. But there are now a lot of opportunities in that marketplace. So if you want to talk to us about health and wellness, if you want to learn more about what we call the unicorn, the ultimate longevity center, reach out to us, schedule an appointment with us one-on-one. We'll answer your questions and maybe we'll engage and design a strategy for you.